Hello everyone, and welcome to the Digimon Ghost Game video. And this time I'm going to be going over my quick thoughts for the latest episode of Ghost Game, which is episode 41, Clown. Now, a quick synopsis is that the characters are going to a circus, but then they find out there's like a secret circus that kids are being invited to. Ruli doesn't get an invitation, she kind of just takes one, and then when some Digimon show up to take her away, they realise that she's not chosen, which is a funny thing in Digimon. These kids are chosen children, but they're not the chosen children. But anyway, they end up taking Angoramon instead, and he basically gets turned into a bunny rabbit. And then Ruli goes via Airdramon, which, yay, recurring character Airdramon, who I just realised the other day is like Komodamon in Digimon Adventure Colon, how we had that, like, vehicle and transportation Digimon, and now we have the same sort of role being filled in Ghost Game by Airdramon, which is kind of cool. I like how we have transportation Digimon now. So Hiro and Gamamon and Ruli go to the this secret circus, and meanwhile we have Angoramon witnessing children being turned into playing cards by a Piedmon. So we get another human disguise for a Digimon, which is pretty cool because I'm a pretty big fan of those. So then the characters show up. Hiro starts to challenge Piedmon, I guess, to like a card game, but then Ruli says that she's going to be doing the card game, which I was really surprised by this. I honestly expected Hiro to be the main character in this episode, because previous episodes have had him, do the final battle, or he's the one who's really important to the plot. But he really just says, oh, you look after Gamamon because Gamamon's fighting, and I'll play the card game. So they play a game of cards where you kind of flip a card, and then your opponent flips a card, and whoever's got the highest card wins. And Ruli says that, well, once she realises that these cards are actually humans, which is very disturbing because when she's touching them, they start screaming. She says, if I win, you're going to free all the humans that have been turned into playing cards. And then Piedmon is saying how if he wins a turn, then his swords get to attack Battle Gamamon, but if Ruli wins a turn, his Digimon, like his lackeys, I guess, get attacked by the sword. And he's actually true to his word. That is exactly how it goes down. Ruli ends up winning because she believes in the heart of her cards and draws an ace. And once Piedmon loses, he's like, oh, that was great fun. I really wanted to play a card game. And then, like, okay, I'll return all the kids back to their human forms. They can no longer be cards anymore. One of the Digimon, Mephistomon, ends up not liking this, and Lamortmon and Mephistomon have a quick fight, but will run out of time, so it just kind of ends. And yeah, that's the episode. So this episode had a lot that I did like. The animation was great. It had some great Digimon, like Taboo Catmon is a Digimon that's been around for so long and is finally actually animated in the show. So that was great to see. We do also have Flaywizamon, who's another armor level Digimon. That was cool. Lynxmon's always cool. And of course we had Piedmon with another human disguise. There was a bit that I liked, and of course Ruli being like proactive and actually involving herself in the fight. However, again, the episode wrapped up very quickly. Piedmon just kind of accepts defeat. He's true to his word, which is good, but he kind of just he's like, okay, yep, good point, I will return everyone back to human. And I don't understand what his whole, I know he collects cards, that was kind of his thing, that was why he was capturing humans, just to turn them into cards. So I don't know, if it wasn't really said that he really wanted to play a good game of cards and then that would satisfy him. So I don't know why he would have given up the cards. It just felt like it was a little bit convenient writing, how he's just like, okay, you won, okay, I'll return the cards to humans. He's still going to want to have a deck of cards, and I'm assuming that the only way for him to get cards is to turn humans into cards, so I feel like that was kind of easy writing it out, but it didn't really... It seemed too convenient. He was a fairly evil-sounding Digimon until, he just lost in the game of cards. The fact that we have Mephistomon is kind of cool. It's a really cool Digimon, And even when he appears, Angoramon's like, oh my gosh, it's Mephistomon! However, it just kind of, it attacks, and then the episode basically ends. Like they win, and now Mephistomon's good. I don't know. Like, it felt like it was, again, the same problem with a lot of Ghost Game episodes, is the episode was just wrapped up incredibly quickly. And I feel like that kind of hurt it, because it was actually a pretty good episode, but the conclusion just felt like it was lackluster. It felt like it was missing something. And I guess that's what you can say about a lot of episodes of Ghost Game, that they have pretty good episodes, animation's great. It's just the wrap-up is a little bit sloppy. It just felt like it was missing something. And yeah, there's not much else to say about it. It was cool seeing Piedmon, and this is the first Mega Digimon that we're fighting, as far as I'm aware. So that's pretty cool, that we're now fighting Mega Digimons instead of just Perfects. Something else that I wasn't a big fan of was the fact that the circus of no one knowing when it'll appear, it just sort of appears, reminded me a lot of the Phalesmon's Fortune Teller's Manor episode. It just exactly like that. The Fortune Teller's Manor, just that the tent just kind of appears and disappears, and no one knows when it's going to appear or where or how it's just going to appear. The circus honestly just reminded me a bit about that. And it felt like it was a weird opportunity to not include Phalesmon again, because we know that Phalesmon still exists. He's still evil. He just succeeded in that, he just conceded. He was like, okay, you can have these stone humans back, and I'll revert them to normal whatevs. It felt like this would have been a good opportunity to have Phalesmon again, because it was a very similar episode to that episode. However, it didn't, and it just felt like it was that episode again, to the fact that it was Ruli and her friends, and it was but just different characters and a sort of different ending, by which I mean really challenging Piedmon, but the ending of just like the Digimon leaving and just healing all the humans back to normal, it just felt a lot like that episode. So overall, this episode, it had bits I liked, but overall it seemed kind of mid because of the ending having the Ghost Game problem of an entirely too quick wrap-up. Angoramon as a bunny was really cute though, so that was great. Airdramon's always good to see. There was a bunch of Digimon that was really cool to see, and the turning the kids to cards was kind of graphic. When the scene where Ruli's touching the cards and she's realising they're humans because they're screaming at her, that was kind of cool. But overall, this episode was just kind of okay. It definitely wasn't the worst, and because there's been so many episodes of Ghost Game that I've really liked, it ends up kind of being down the bottom, even though it's just an okay episode. But in general, those are my thoughts about this episode. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts about this week's episode were. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!